Keywords, ads, and landing pages are the building blocks of your Google Ads campaigns. I'm Amy Hebdon with Paid Search Magic, and in this lesson of Learn Google Ads with me, I'll be teaching you about the relationship between all three of these that will really help you understand how search marketing works. Once again, these lessons are no nonsense, no tech, and hopefully the best search marketing training you've ever had. Now, in Lesson 1, I introduce you to this concept that Google Ads lets you put your best offer in front of your ideal audience when they're most likely to take action. Today, we're going to look at the execution of how all of this works together. So let's start with how you'd buy an item in the real world, like back before social distancing rules. Say you wanted to buy a jigsaw puzzle. So you go to a store and ask the clerk, where can I find some jigsaw puzzles? The clerk says, jigsaw puzzles? Try aisle 19. And you go to aisle 19 where you have an assortment of puzzles and games, and then you can just find the one with the right picture and difficulty level at the right price. Now let's look at the same process online. So instead of asking a clerk for help, you ask Google, right? So jigsaw puzzles is the keyword that you type into Google. And instead of a clerk pointing you in the right direction, you have listings, including paid ads, telling you exactly where you can find jigsaw puzzles. Now, clicking an ad takes you to a landing page where you can explore your options to find the right picture with the right number of pieces with the right price. The sequence for your offline search process was jigsaw puzzles? Sure, over here. And then you go to the puzzles aisle, which is aisle 19. The sequence for our online search process is analogous to that. You have the keyword where you ask for jigsaw puzzles, you get the ad, which is telling you where you can find jigsaw puzzles, and then you end up at the landing page, which is pretty close to the aisle, right? It's where you're actually going to find the jigsaw puzzles. What I hope is clear from this is that search marketing isn't some kind of crazy promotional stunt. It's really about wayfinding. So let's look at some tips that will help you nail each step of this process. Your landing page should make it easy for people to take action, whether it's completing a form, buying a product, or even making a decision about what to do next. In our puzzles example, our landing page is a category page because puzzles is a category, not a specific product. So even though you can't buy anything directly from this page, you can explore your options to choose the best one. Now, this is important because as you learn more about landing pages, you'll come across advice that says you should only have one action for your visitors to take on the page. Buy the product. Get rid of all distractions other than the immediate sale. But if you take people right to a product page and it's not the one that they wanted, they're not going to buy it just because there's nothing else to do on the page. I would feel really frustrated if I were searching for jigsaw puzzles and this was the only option I got. Now, if I were searching for 1,000-piece dragon jigsaw puzzle by Ravensburger, then this would be a perfect landing page. It's not one size fits all. It's choose the right solution for the problem. Just like in a store, you can have multiple sections and aisles and shelves and products, you can have multiple landing pages in your Google Ads account. There's not a limit for how many landing pages you can have or how many products you can sell. You just want to be sure that the landing page you use matches what someone typed into Google. Category with category, product with product. Now, the biggest mistake I see beginners make with ads is trying to make it really attention grabbing, because for a lot of advertising, that's exactly what you want to do, right? You want to grab their attention and stop them in their tracks. That's what works for email and TV and billboards. But if you're in search mode on a mission to find puzzles, what's going to get your attention? The link that tells you where the puzzles are. Now, this doesn't mean that there's no room for creativity, but you need to understand where your audience's head is at. Obvious wayfinding signage type ads are more useful than ads that try too hard to break the mold. Now, let's talk about keywords. Keywords are really a stand-in for intent, and intent can be handled different ways. There's explicit intent, like if I were to type dentist in Kirkland, Washington into Google. There's also implied intent. So if I just type dentist into Google, there's an implied intent that I'm looking for a dentist near me, not a dentist 2 states over. And it's not just the location that's implied. It's also implied that I want to visit a dentist, not learn the definition of what a dentist is or how to become a dentist. In the last lesson, I showed you a Google search for a moving company, and then we looked at ads across the internet that were based on that search. Google infers from my search that I'm in market for a moving company. But intent doesn't just begin and end with keywords in a Google search. If I'm watching a YouTube video about top 10 puzzles of the year, that might be a great time for a puzzle company to show me an ad about their top puzzles. Or if I'm reading an article about puzzles or visited some puzzle websites, these are all indicators of intent, even though they're not keyword based. So to build out and expand just a little on our sequence, it's not just keyword ad landing page, it's context and intent ad landing page. Now at this point, you don't have to know how to enter any of this into Google Ads, so I don't want you to worry if you still don't know how to build a keyword list. That's not something we went over, but you should be fairly comfortable with this sequence. The thing that someone is looking for leads to an ad about that thing, which leads to a landing page about that thing. Understanding this relationship will drive better results for you. Now, if you haven't grabbed the Learn Google Ads with Me activity book, there's a link in the description box where you can get it for free. The activity for today will walk you through a practice exercise and will also take a closer look at how ads on other websites are part of this mix. Thank you so much for joining me to learn more about Google Ads, and I'll catch you in the next lesson where we talk about bids and budgets.